Stop being funny. My older sister had this ridiculous floral diary she kept under her mattress, like it was the launch codes. Pink cover, sparkly lock, the whole keep out vibe. Naturally, I read it all the time. It started when I was 11 and bored. I didn't even go looking for it. She left it half open on her bed while brushing her teeth. I flipped through expecting boring stuff, but the first thing I saw was, if mom doesn't let me dye my hair, I'm moving to France. I laughed so hard I nearly choked. After that, it became tradition. Every few weeks, I'd sneak into her room, fish the diary out, and skim for the drama. It was like a live reality show with worse grammar. Saw Tyler at lunch today. He looked so hot. I think Abby's fake nice, like too nice. Serial killer nice. Gold. I started reading entries to my best friend over the phone. We even gave characters nicknames. Tyler was Dreamboat Disaster. Abby was Plastic Abby. It was harmless. Just jokes. My sister never knew. And if she did, she never said anything. Years passed. We both got older. Busier. I stopped checking the diary. Forgot about it completely, honestly. Until last month. We were cleaning out the house for a move. Dad got a job in another city. My sister was away at college. So it was just me and my parents boxing up the last of her stuff. I was going through her dresser when I found it. The same floral diary. Lock broken. Pages bent. I opened it out of pure muscle memory. Most of the entries were old. Crushed on a boy named Micah. Hated geometry. Wanted to be a marine biologist or someone important. I smiled at all of it. It felt like flipping through someone else's childhood. Then I hit the last section. It wasn't dated, but I could tell it was more recent. Her handwriting was neater, like she'd slowed down. I know he reads this. I know he's been reading it for years. I used to leave it open on purpose sometimes. I thought maybe if he saw how much I hated being here, he'd say something. I thought maybe if he saw how lonely I was, he'd knock on my door. I waited, and all he did was laugh. I stopped reading. My chest actually hurt. I flipped the page, hand shaking. I don't blame him. He's younger. He doesn't get it, but it really sucks feeling invisible in your own house. And the worst part is, I think I actually liked knowing someone was reading this, because it meant someone was listening, even if they didn't care. I didn't even realize I was crying until the page blurred. I'd spent years reading her pain like it was entertainment, quoting it.
Ugh, Mom? Yes, son. My stomach's been hurting all day. Can you take me to the doctor? Your stomach's hurting because you're always on that phone. Wait, what? You heard me. Maybe if you weren't addicted to that phone all day, your stomach would be fine. But that doesn't even... What's wrong now? Now my head hurts too. Your head hurts because you're always on that phone. I haven't even been on the phone today. I'm in too much pain to reach it. And that's how powerful it is. You don't even have to use it and it can still mess up your life. Mom, the last thing I need is a lecture. Take me to the hospital now. You only need to go to the hospital because of that phone. I can't wait. Dad? Why can't I just get... Oh my God, are you okay? No, my stomach's been hurting all day. Yeah, because he's always on the phone. I'm taking him to the hospital. Don't you dare. All right, and while I do the scan, you want to tell me what the problem is? Well, my stomach's been hurting like crazy since this morning. All because he's on that phone all day. Actually, he says he has appendicitis. Yeah, we're gonna have to do surgery. On the phone! Ugh, Mom.
This girl kept...
This is your warning to never sleep over at my house. Because last time one of my friends did, we were trying to stay up all night, so we bought energy drinks. But what he didn't know is that caffeine does not affect me for some reason. So around 2 a.m., I got really tired and ended up falling asleep. But the next morning, when I woke up, I heard a noise that sounded like a pig in my room. So I looked to my left, and I see my friend laying there on the floor snoring. But the worst part is, he didn't have a blanket, pillow, nothing. Because I was so tired that I fell asleep without remembering to get him any of that. I felt so bad because I thought he must have been super uncomfortable. But that night, we ordered a pizza. So you know what he did? He used the pizza box as a blanket. I thought about waking him up to give him a pillow or something, but honestly, he looked like he was having the best sleep of his life. He was drooling and everything. He was sleeping better than I do on my memory foam mattress. Maybe we all need to try sleeping with the pizza box. This is your...
Apparently, you can turn cane stalks into actual paper, but this seems pretty hard to believe. I wanted to test whether it's actually possible, so after harvesting some resources, I boiled them to try and soften the fibres and help break them down. Next, I needed to turn it into a pulp, so my bright idea was to use a blender, which ended in disaster.
That does not look good.
But after studying the expert, I realised that I can grind the fibres the old-fashioned way, so I tried my best to break them down as much as possible. And after a couple of hours, things were finally looking back on track. However, in order to form this pulp into a thin sheet, I need to collect it after it's been dispersed in water. So I made something called a mold and decal, which uses a screen to filter out the broken down particles. And I was very optimistic with how this was looking, but the next day that hope was quickly crushed.
Well, I'm not turning that into a book.
But to honour the sacrifice of my blender, I refused to give up. and I'm glad I didn't, because if I'd done 5 seconds of research, I'd know that I needed some sort of binder. It turns out if I simmer flour in water, it releases the starches, and once added to the mixture, this will help fuse the fibres together and make a strong sheet. And after one last attempt, I was relieved to peel off a functional piece of paper and learnt to never question my childhood again.
I filmed my son.
What was your biggest missed opportunity? I went to the same secondary school as John Lennon and was actually in the same year as him. At the time, I was a drummer, and quite a talented one, I was told. And one day after class, John came up to me and asked me if I was interested in being the drummer for a band he's forming. I loved music, and being in a band was my dream, so I said yes, without hesitation. However, when I broke the news to my mother, she was adamant.
Absolutely every single app.
Welcome to day 2.
Why are there so much ads on absolutely every single app
On my phone now.
Like, I remember I could skip a 15-second ad on YouTube and watch what I wanted to see instantly. But now I feel like the ads went from 15 seconds to 3 whole minutes. And like it's always some random guy trying to sell his course to people when I literally could not care less. And like sometimes the ads on videos are longer than the video itself.
Like, what's the point of me even watching the video?
Some ads just don't need to be up there.
Why are there so much ads on app?
Welcome to day 2. We added 7,458 froggies. For the people new here, this is Froggy. For every person who likes this video, 2 frogs will spawn. For every comment, 4 frogs will spawn.
You couldn't save me, but you can.
If you cut off a dead person's finger, you might think you could use it to unlock their phone, but the sensor actually checks for the body's natural electricity, and this stops when a person dies, making the finger useless. Now, if you tried to use the corpse's face to unlock it, the sensor would look for slight movements to make sure it's a real living person, but it would quickly notice that they're dead and you'd still be locked out. If you
What if I told you there's a song that we all sang growing up that's actually about dying?
Let me respawn in Rome.
Hey!
Can I be in a Q&A time?
Sure! Q&A time. What color is a carrot? Orange? What's 2000 minus 20? That would be 1980. Same year my grandmother was born.
What's 9 plus 10?
19. Okay. 21. What's 127? $1,449 divided by 980,642 times 257 plus 63. What? That would be...
You don't have to answer that.
Yeah, do your own homework. Read my username. What? Oh, is that me as your profile picture? Oh.
911, what's your emergency?
Send help.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Hey!
Can I be in a Q?
I told you guys if I won $1 billion in the lottery, I would buy you all a PC. So let's go buy some tickets. Yup. What numbers do I pick? Never mind, I'm buying like 40 tickets. It does not matter. We got them, guys. All right, guys, here's the numbers. And these, and all the ones that just dropped. Oh, shoot, they fell down the crack of my seat. All right, now, if I become a billionaire tomorrow, we know what y'all are getting. Y'all are getting PCs, but what do I do with my bill?
I might get some Pop-Tarts. That sounds mad good. Can't lie.
Why is Roblox? What made you go on your villain arc? 5 girls accused my son of sexual assault at college. Perfect students with...
Why are teachers completely different creatures?
Like they actually think students are some AI robots with 9,000 terabytes of memory. Like, how do you expect me to memorize 5,000? Dates in one single day for my history exam. I ain't Google Chrome, bro. I can't open 87 tabs at once without crashing. And don't get me started when they say this one sentence.
It's very easy.
Easy for who? You or your 3 PhDs? Because my brain is right now doing WWE with itself. And the homework, oh my god. One teacher gives one mountain, the next teacher gives another, and suddenly I'm living inside Mount Everest of assignments. Then the funniest part is when they say,
You had so much time. Prepare.
Time?
What time?
At this point, I don't even have time to breathe. Forget revising.
Why are teachers completely different creatures?
Bro, the most stressful part of school isn't the tests. It's attendance. Like, why is saying here so terrifying? Teacher calls your name and... Suddenly, it feels like the whole class is watching. You like it's your big moment. Do I say, here? Do I say, present? Do I just nod? And if my voice cracks... My whole day is ruined. You also gotta time it. Too early and you sound desperate. Too late, and they think you weren't paying attention. One time I said it too loud, and everybody looked at me like I just confessed to a crime. And the overthinking makes it worse. By the time my name comes up, I forget how to talk and just mumble. Yeah, I'm alive. At that point, attendance isn't about checking if I'm here. It's checking if I can survive one word without embarrassing myself. Bro, the most stressful part of school isn't the test.
The way that teams brainstorm is broken. They're working on a whiteboard that's disconnected from the rest of...
This is your warning to never date someone who's the youngest child. Because I was talking to this...
My desperate sister wants me to give her my...
Do you know what's...
A husband and wife deeply loved each other.
Never get into an Uber if the driver seems weird, because I got into an Uber the other day, and the driver was a little creepy from the start, but I was like, whatever, no big deal. But then he took a wrong turn, and I was like, excuse me, sir, I think you missed the turn. And he said, don't worry, I know a shortcut. But he kept going in the wrong direction, so I was like, oh, I know what's going on here. I'm getting kidnapped. At least that's what I thought was happening. So he continued driving, and I kept trying to make excuses. For him to let me out of the car. Like, there was McDonald's on the side.
Change your avatar now, before your account gets deleted. Roblox added a new reporting option that has a clanker that scans your avatar and bans it immediately if it's inappropriate. But everyone is suffering from this update. Retro slop, furry, female...
Green bean avatars
are getting banned because you can trick the clanker by saying, like, inappropriate or visible female anatomy. That makes it think your avatar is inappropriate, even when it's perfectly fine. The clanker is extremely broken right now, and people are abusing it to ban anyone they wish.
Ma'am, I'm afraid I caught your son doing homework.
Where did I go wrong?
I am a very tall midget.
Hey, Joey, do you want to eat me?
No thanks, Mr. Muffin.
But I want to die.
Hey, what'd you get for your birthday? I got older. That is weird.
Hey, baby, are you an angel? Because I'm allergic to feathers.
Man.
Parodontax.
Who's the dumbest person you've ever met in high school? I got hired to tutor the principal's son in math. He was failing badly and needed to pass to graduate. First session, I show up at their massive house, and this kid answers the door wearing designer clothes while texting on 2 phones. His dad had promised me $50 an hour, serious money for a broke 16-year-old saving for college. The kid leads me to their kitchen where he immediately says, look, my dad's forcing this. I don't need help, just write my answers and I'll pay you extra. I refused. He laughed and said, you're making a mistake. Dad controls college recommendation letters. For 3 weeks, I tried everything to make him understand basic algebra. Nothing worked because he wouldn't even look at the paper. The night before his final exam, he calls me panicking. His dad had promised him a new car if he passed. He begged me to come over at midnight to help. When I arrived, he wasn't studying. He was throwing a party. He pulled me into his dad's office and showed me a completed answer key for tomorrow's test. My dad left this out. Let's memorize it together. I quietly took photos of the stolen test with my flip phone, then told him I needed to use the bathroom. Instead, I walked straight to the living room where his dad was sitting watching TV. I showed him the photos and explained everything. The principal suspended his own son the next day. He still paid me for all my hours and wrote me the best college recommendation letter anyone in our school had ever received. Who's the...
Where's my friend with the snacks? I must find him.
Hey, over here. Hey, over here. You just missed him. Do you want to throw a football? Hey. Do you want to throw a football? Throw the football back. Hey, Sam.
We're digging a hole to China.
Digging is so fun.
Do you want to help us dig? I could use that Baja Blast. I really love the beach. Hey, Sam. Hey, I'm walking here.
My mom said I can't swim in the water. Oh, he was just here. Are you scared of sharks too? I think I might go back to the pool.
Look at the sandcastle I've been building. What do you think? It's glorious, isn't it? Why? No, my mountain! Hey, Sam! Ugh. Hey, Sam! Yeah, I've got sandwiches and Baja Blast! This is so refreshing! Hey.
Whoever thought a phone case?
Hannah, it's your birthday? Yeah. Happy birthday! Oh, wait, but it's my 3/4 birthday! Your what? Well, you know, like half birthdays. I'm 3/4 of the way to my next birthday, so it's my 3/4 birthday. Oh. We should sing! Happy birthday to us! Happy birthday, dear Hannah! And happy 3/4 birthday to me. Happy birthday to us. My parents got me the colorblind glasses. I can see the colors. When I was little, I thought I was colorblind because I couldn't tell the difference between red and orange, but really I was just being stupid and I didn't know. But it's not that I was actually colorblind. But if I was colorblind, dude, why were you absent for the past week? I broke my arm, see? Hannah, it's your birthday? Yeah. Happy birthday.
All these physics are mind-blowing, but the last guy completely destroys physics.
Against all odds, we found his backpack.
Roblox just made avatars illegal. So apparently Roblox just rolled out this new avatar ban tool that literally scans your outfit like
TSA at the airport.
And if it thinks your avatar is inappropriate, boom.
Banned.
Bro, people are literally doing avatar ban speed runs. They're swapping shirts, faces, and hats just to see how fast the AI will cook them. Like it's a whole new mini-game on Roblox. Survive the outfit check. And the worst part? This tool is glitched. Someone got banned for just wearing a limited hat.
Picture this. You sneak into a school party that you weren't invited to, but the moment you arrive, you do something that makes everyone there run for their lives and leave as quickly as possible. You lay low for a couple days, try not to get in trouble for what happened, but eventually, you find out that what you did may have ruined someone's whole life. So let me tell you exactly what happened and why I did what I did.
Wait, I made my favorite.
This is a functionable laptop. That my parent bought, and supposedly I'll get a new one once it broke. You see, at first it was just a simple extension of mouse and keyboard. But as time goes on, the laptop starting to show problem. At first it was a simple overheating, still functionable, so a fan underneath. Soon after, the battery broke, still functionable, as all we need is just constant charging, and then the memory corrupted, still functionable, using external hard disk as primary. And you know what, even when the screen is not functionable, it's still functionable, as I use a secondary monitor as primary, because long live the functionable laptop. Even if it's lost its identity as laptop, it's still functionable. I'ma pass this down as the curse of money worth to my next generation.
Boys, do you know what FNAF stands for? Huh?
5 nights at...
5 nights at federal prison. My uncle played that game.
Boys, do you know what...
Hey, what's your name?
Animals without hair, part 1. Firstly, I bet $1 million you guys won't be able to tell me what this animal is, because although it looks like a hairless cat, it's actually a raccoon. Yeah, I'm not lying, I wasn't expecting that either. Next, we have the hairless penguin. However, you shouldn't find this funny because he was rejected by his parents for not having hair. Now, scientists have started breeding featherless chickens that look like this, for the sole purpose to keep them cool in the heat. Scientists are always doing something bizarre. Moving on, here's a hedgehog that was born without his spikes. I know what you're thinking. Stop! But this hedgehog gets daily massages to somehow help with his baldness. Finally,
to make your day a bit better, this is what a rabbit looks like without hair. I was not expecting this. Animals without not expecting.
Bro, did you see the news? Our hometown killer, the clay farmer butcher, finally got caught. But the craziest part, it wasn't some random creepy old dude, but your childhood best friend, Tom.
Wait, what? Tom? That's crazy, dude. I legit never saw it coming.
Me neither, bro. But it all makes sense. Both of you loved clay as kids, always playing with it during recess, which makes sense why he left little sculptures with the bodies. And both of your parents were farmers, which is why he always leaves the remains in fields. How could we not have seen it? It was right in front of us the whole time.
Oh, sure, dude. We are genuinely blind. But you gotta admit, though, he was a genius for his tactics. Had the police running in circles for years. I heard a few detectives retired because of how lost they got.
Well, genius or not, he obviously couldn't have been that smart, because the guy got caught.
But what if it wasn't actually him? What if the real killer framed Tom to distract the cops so that while they're relaxed and celebrating, he goes on an even crazier killing spree? Now that would be pretty dang genius, wouldn't it?
No chance, lol. Everything leads back to him, from his lifelong habits to his fingerprints being found at the scene. Now he had a good run, sure, but it's over. And he'll spend the rest of his miserable life behind bars. Exactly what he deserves. Hello? Are you there? Dude, what the hell are you doing at my door? Bro, did you see the news? Our hometown killer, the clay...
This video is proof that God always answers your prayers, because when this old woman's neighborhood was struck by a tornado, she only prayed for her and her dog to come out alive, and while
Every night at dinner, I'll be there. Every birthday party, I'll be there. Every Christmas, I'll be there. Every night at dinner.
What name should I name my axolotl?
أسوأ علاقة توكسيك.
You might have heard about veto powers, but who are they, and what's their purpose? So big guys such as Americans, Soviets, Chinese, French, and the Brits made this rule that they have the power to do or undo anything. For example, if the whole world agrees on something and one of the veto members says no, the one veto can stop it easily. For example, after Bangladesh's independence, most countries wanted Bangladesh to be a UN member, but since China is a veto member, they said no, and their membership was blocked until 1974. You might have heard about veto powers.
My teacher said I would be nothing in life. So I embarrassed her in front of everyone. My high school teacher pulled me aside after class and asked why I hadn't been turning in my homework. I told her the truth. I was trying to start a business. I was working late nights figuring things out, and homework just didn't feel like a priority. She said, "You know that's not gonna work, right? You're going to end up dropping out, and then what? Nothing. No degree, no future, nothing going for you." I just nodded and went to my next class. I kept working on my business too. A year later, I did end up dropping out. She was right about that part, but she was dead wrong about the rest. Fast forward a few years, and things had turned out pretty well for me. My business had taken off, and I was back in my hometown visiting family for Christmas. I stopped at the local supermarket to grab a few things. That's when I saw her, my old teacher, standing in the next aisle. I thought about saying something, but I decided to keep quiet. I figured she wouldn't recognize me anyway. But as fate would have it, she spotted me at checkout. She gave me this smug look and said, "See, maybe if you'd focused on school, you wouldn't be stuck working at a supermarket now." I didn't respond. I just smiled and let her walk off. Then I left my groceries right there and went outside to wait. I stood by the entrance until she came out, and the second she stepped outside, I hopped in my Lamborghini, started it up, and drove off. I didn't even look back, except in my rearview mirror, and there she was.
I hate growing up in Gen Z because my parents recently I hate growing up in Gen Z because my parents recently found out that I make videos. So my dad was reading my comment section and he saw a bunch of people commenting, oil up, oil up, oil up. So he texted me asking what that phrase meant, and I was like, how do I explain this in a way that someone over the age of 50 will understand? So I just told him it was a sarcastic joke that people say because of the Diddy situation. And I was like, yeah, people say it on everyone's videos, not just mine. Because I didn't want him to think it was weird, but it was a big mistake to tell my dad this because my mom called me the other day and she was like, yeah, ever since you told your dad what oil up means, he's been walking around the house going, oil up, oil up, oil up. But it gets worse because apparently...
What's the longest secret you've ever kept? I've been secretly raising my little sister's baby for 6 years. Not even my wife knows she's actually my niece. When Sarah showed up at my door at 2 a.m., sobbing and pregnant at 15, I knew our parents would throw her out. They were strict religious people who'd already threatened to disown her for staying out past curfew. I told Sarah she could stay with me until the baby was born. We'd figure something out. 2 months later, she died from pregnancy complications. The doctors couldn't save her, but they delivered Emma through emergency C-section. I was listed as the emergency contact. When the nurse handed me that tiny baby, I made a split-second decision that would change everything. I told everyone Sarah had run away to California. I said my wife and I had decided to adopt a baby since we couldn't have kids. For years, I've maintained this story. I've answered late-night calls from my parents, asking if I've heard from Sarah. I've nodded silently at dinner tables while they talk about how she abandoned us all while raising their granddaughter right under their noses. Emma looks exactly like Sarah. Same dimples, same laugh. Sometimes my mom stares at her a little too long, like she sees something familiar. I've written Sarah's story in a letter for Emma to read when she's older. She deserves to know how brave her mother was, and my parents deserve to live with the shame of what they would have done. What's the longest secret?
You won't change your phone number? Challenge accepted. So my ex-girlfriend Rachel had this annoying habit of calling me at all hours after we broke up. Like, we dated for 8 months, and it ended pretty badly when I found out she was still talking to her ex.
You can always tell when someone grew up with divorced parents because during my high school graduation, the person I was sitting next to acted super nervous the whole time. So I was like, are you nervous about graduating too? But she was like, oh no, I don't care about the graduation part. I'm nervous for what's coming after that. So I was like, I see. You don't know what you're gonna do with your life after high school yet, huh? But then she says, what? No, I'm going to Duke, I'm fine. I meant that I'm nervous for what's gonna happen tonight. So I asked her to explain more and she tells me that her whole family is coming to watch her graduate, but they're all going to dinner together after. So then it clicked what was going on and I was like, oh, are your parents divorced? But not only did she say yes, she also said that this was gonna be the first time they were all together since they signed the papers. So she was super nervous because she had no idea how it was gonna go. I low-key almost asked for an invite to that dinner. I wanted to see how it was gonna go down.
Have you tried code?
If you're ever thinking about buying a TV off Temu, don't do it! Because I just bought this one and I was super excited because it was only 30 bucks until it arrived and I realized it wasn't an actual TV. It's a Wendy's menu screen! I was trying to watch the Lakers game on it, but instead, I'm stuck staring at the breakfast Baconator. Okay, that actually sounds kind of good. But still, if you're ever thinking about
Easy! Pulcini, burraloni, luliloli, capibarrero, cocosini, bombardiro, crocodilo, un po' tutto alligatore, frimi troppa, frulli frulla, pinguino, bla 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 bla, da 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 sahur, bicus, de per patapim, per patapim, per la vaca Saturnita, chimpanzee, banani, giraffa, celeste, cappuccino, tong.
Foods that no longer exist, part 5. Firstly, in 2007, chocolate Skittles were released and had 5 different chocolate flavors. However, However, they were quickly discontinued because the company who makes Skittles, which is Mars, is the same company who makes M&Ms. They were literally competing with themselves. Next, in 1996, the drink Orbitz was released, which had all these balls that you would consume when you drink the soda. See, these gelatin balls were able to match the soda's density, and from this, they were able to keep float. The company thought since its appearance looked cool, everybody would drink it. However, the opposite happened, and it turned out everybody felt like they were drinking from a lava lamp. They were discontinued in 1998. Finally,
I just tried scooping this ice cream, but it was too frozen to, and I don't want to have to wait to eat it. So I came up with a great idea to put my spoon in the microwave and heat it up.
Never mind, guys, don't do that.
I just tried scooping. I made a video the other day asking people to draw pictures of me, and then last night I got a DM from someone that said, "Hey Tyler, I drew you." So I was super excited to look at the drawing, but then I clicked on it, and this is what it looked like. But the crazy part I made a video the other day asking people to draw pictures of me, and then last night I got a DM from someone that said, "Hey Tyler, I drew you." So I was super excited to look at the drawing, but then I clicked on it, and this is what it looked like. But the crazy part about it is obviously the person in this picture is super ugly, but at the same time, it low-key looks like me. I don't even get how that's possible. I made a video. I just found this money on the ground, but when I picked it up and turned it around, there was brown stuff on the other side and it smelled really bad, so I'm burning it. I don't think the brown part is even flammable. I just found this money on the ground, but when I picked it up and turned it around, there was brown stuff on the other side. If you see a picture online of me doing this pose, please know that it is not a gang sign, because I got a DM last night saying, "Hey Tyler, why are you throwing up gang signs in pictures with fans now?" But that's not what this is. It means 6'7". Stop trying to get me in trouble. If you see a random kid walked up to me today and asked me to sign this notebook, so I was like, sure. But then he said he didn't have a pen, and instead, I should just keep it for myself. It looks kind of creepy, but I think I'm just gonna use it as a journal. A random kid walked up to me today and asked me to sign this notebook. No matter how hard I try to please others, it's never enough. I work and I work and I work. And what do I get out of it? Nothing. I give up. No matter. I sprained my wrist punching the wall, so now whenever I'm angry, I just blow bubbles and start punching them to get my anger out. It really helps, look. Yeah, take that. Oh, stupid bubbles. I sprained my... If you're ever thinking about moving out of your parents' house, don't do it, because I ran out of soap, but I needed to wash my hands, so I just stick this dispenser in the bar of soap from my shower. Will this even work? Oh wait, hold on, I might be a genius. If you're ever thinking about moving out of your parents' house, don't do it. An old man just came up to me while I was on the swings, and he gave me a weird look and then said, "Aren't you a little old to be at a children's playground?" So I paused for a second, and then I was like, wait, I shouldn't be here, huh? But this is the only place that has swings, so where else do I go? An old man... I just found a bunch of coins sitting at the bottom of a water fountain, so I picked them all up, and now I'm gonna go buy a pizza. I don't know if someone accidentally dropped them in there or something, but it looks like it's my lucky day. I just found a bunch of coins sitting at the bottom of a water fountain.
A place shaped by yesterday.
If I miss this shot, I have to oil up on camera. Here we go. No. Picture this. You sneak into a school party that you weren't invited to, but the moment you arrive, you do something that makes everyone there run for their lives and leave as quickly as possible. You lay low for a couple days, try not to get in trouble for what happened, but eventually, you find out that what you did may have ruined someone's whole life. So let me tell you exactly what happened and why I did what I did. Picture.
Do you know what?
You ain't a real milkaholic unless you've drank it using this straw. So let's try it. Ugh. You ain't a real milkaholic unless you've drank it using this straw. So let's try it. Ugh. You ain't a real milkaholic. Does anyone know how long it takes for a stop sign to turn green? Because I've been waiting at this one for like 6 or 7 minutes and it's still red. So I think I'm about to just break the law and run it.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, I'm such a rebel.
Does anyone... Today is my first day back at school, so I want you guys to rate my outfit. Okay, so here's the full outfit. I'm getting some really weird looks right now, so I'm guessing not everyone likes it, but I do. Today is my first day back at school. I made a promise that I was gonna try fixing my sleep schedule tonight, but now it's 3 a.m. and I just made Dubai chocolate from scratch, so let's try it. This is why I don't cook. I made a promise that I was gonna try fixing. I'm about to read a horror book for the first time, but I heard it's really scary, so I hope I can get through it. Here we go. He turned around and the ghost said, boo. Oh my gosh, why did they jump scare me like that? I'm about to read a horror book. Can someone tell me why when I open this new tub of peanut butter, there was a hole inside it? I haven't even used it yet. It just came like this. I mean, I'm still gonna eat it, but can someone tell me why when I got stung by a bee on the lips because I stole their home and now they're fighting back? So to all the bees watching this, I hope you know my next response is gonna be explosive. I got stung. Is it just me, or is anyone else's family still eating leftovers from last Thanksgiving? Because my mom made so much food last year that even though it's been 9 months, we're still eating. Tyler, give us a fit check. Tyler, we want to see your outfit. Fine, here you go. You like it? Tyler, give us a fit check. Tyler, we want to see your outfit. To all the bees who keep trying to sting me, you guys have given me no choice but to steal your house. I tried being nice, but you keep harassing me. So now, this is war. To all the bees who keep trying to... If old people in nursing homes like to listen to music from their generation like this,
You can ask the flowers. I sit for
does that mean when we're in nursing homes, we're gonna be listening to music like this?
wobbly wiggly wobbly wiggly wobbly wiggly. Ooh.
If old people in nursing...
This girl kept begging me for the...
My headphones just died while I was at the gym, so my music started playing out loud and everyone could hear it. But I had to leave right away because this was the song that was playing. My headphones just died while I was at the gym.
I tried doing mouth taping to help me sleep, but I didn't realize you're not supposed to use duct tape for this, so this was my reaction to trying to take it off. I tried doing mouth taping to help. I tried using this new chair my dad got while he wasn't home, but I didn't know it flips over like this, and now I'm stuck and can't get out. I feel like I'm gonna pass out.